Good morning, friends. I am Chrissy from Up the Windy Lane, and it is time to do and talk about some garden chores for August. I figure it would be a good idea to get out here before it gets too hot. It's supposed to be really warm this weekend. And right now it is already kind of muggy, kind of humid. We have lots of humidity here. So I figured it'd be a good idea to get out here and get this done first thing in the morning. So here I am, and this would be called the month of plenty. I have lots of things growing, and I have lots of things being harvested, lots of things ripening up, and I am picking something every single day. So more than likely, if you planted your garden, then this month you're going to be harvesting. You're going to be reaping what you've sowed. And it is a pretty exciting month in that respect, but it's also a pretty busy month as well. Your daily harvest could include peas, beans, carrots, cabbages, sugar snap peas, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, potatoes, just depending on what you grew. All right, so if we're looking at this book, and this book is called The Kitchen Garden Calendar, and I really have been enjoying it so far. I hope you are too. I'm really surprised that I've kept up with it this much, but I think you all are helping me stay accountable for that. So the top tasks for August, we're going to be harvesting lots of things, but we're going to be harvesting probably the last of those broad beans, the first of your corn, depending on what you have planted. And you're going to be harvesting those tomatoes, peppers, chilies, maybe some eggplants. I do not have those, but I have been getting tomatoes. I do not have peppers yet, but it's going to be really soon. You're going to be checking on those green beans, those runner beans, zucchinis every day, and harvest them regularly. They seem to double in size overnight, and how true is that? Now, if you have these fruits, you're going to be picking these fruits in August more than likely. This would be a good time to sow that last batch of carrots, turnips, whatever you're wanting to grow for the fall, winter in your zone. Feed your pumpkins if you want those big Halloween giants. I'm going to be lucky if I get any pumpkins. I have 2 on the vine right now up here in the garden, and the vine borers and squash bugs are on them, and I'm really fighting a battle. And I'm gonna show you what I'm actually doing for that too. Woo! I can already feel the temperature and like the sweat coming on. So we're gonna have to speed this up maybe a little bit. I'm gonna have to find maybe some shade. The sun is peeking up behind me there. But it's also a really good time, if you had garlic or onions, it's a good time to dry those now. I do have some garlic that I pulled, and I am drying that. Check on your potatoes and tomatoes for signs of blight, and take care of that, of course. I haven't seen any on my tomatoes, and my potatoes are already pulled. I already dug those up. I got those in fairly early. Probably could have left them, but we were getting a lot of rain, and the plants were starting to die, and I was just really afraid it was going to be too wet and they would rot in the ground, and that would not be cool. Here's an example of one of my pumpkins. Actually, I have another little one. Look at that little baby one. This one seems to be doing fairly decent. Now these down here, on the other hand, have 1 pumpkin each, and I am burying part of the vine up a little bit further because of the vine borers. So I saw a video that you could bury these and they would put out new roots and then supply the plant with water. So we're gonna see if that works. Oh, right there, I missed those. Gotta get those today. All right, back to the video that I'm supposed to be doing. I got a little sidetracked there. So we're gonna be harvesting lots of vegetables in August, really depending on what you planted. You may have a small garden, and that's perfectly fine. You started one, and that's awesome. You may have a large garden. You may have kind of a medium size like I do. Well, I don't know. Maybe mine's small. I don't know. You can harvest carrots. You might be still harvesting kohlrabi. I've pulled all mine. Potatoes, beets, cabbages, bok choy, garlic, summer squashes. Summer squashes are really hard for me because I got like 3 zucchinis, and then the squash bugs got my plants, and so did the vine borers. So I've buried part of that to see if I can get it to maybe produce some more, kind of doing a little bit of experimentation. Now, if you did plant fennel, you can be harvesting fennel, green beans, which I do have some of those. Eggplants, didn't do those. But your chilies and your peppers as well. Like I said, I have not gotten any peppers yet, but I plan on it. It's gonna happen in August. I'm not gonna walk out to the fruits, but there are lots of fruits that you can be harvesting almost all the fruits. My blackberries are pretty much done. I'm not really sure what happened to my plants. My blueberries are done as well. My pink lemonade, they're done as well. But if you have those apricots, you still have strawberries or pears or apples, you could be harvesting those. Some of those apples are earlier ones. That's pretty exciting. My peach trees did not really produce. I had one peach on a new one and it's gone. I'm pretty sure it was an early variety and I just kind of left it. Just gonna let the tree just grow. Right now, the goats got out. We had some trouble with some of the bark coming off, so I'm just kind of letting them hang out and maybe repair themselves. Did you know that you can still sow or plant in August? I'm so excited. So I got these. Now this was a little bit before August. I did get some of this planted, so I do have some lettuces. And check out this little kohlrabi. Can you see that? That I left the root and it's growing a baby kohlrabi. I'm pretty sure that's about as big as it's gonna get. That's so cool. So I stopped by the farmer's market last week and I saw these like little baby cabbages. They were bigger than Brussels sprouts, but much smaller than cabbages. And so I asked the guy and he said that he cuts his cabbages off and leaves the roots and they grow baby cabbages if you plant them in time. That is so cool. I am definitely gonna try that next year. So some of the things you can still plant in August are cabbages, carrots, kohlrabi, onions. You can plant radishes, spinach, Swiss chard, and you can sow those salad greens as well. Like I have these like the lettuces and the spring onions. You've got just all kinds of different things. So these are zucchinis, and look, you can see, if you can see that right there, see they've already found these and they're not even that big. I've not had them in the ground that long. So there's a chore for me today. I'm definitely gonna have to check out and get those off of there. Duct tape works really well, and so does masking tape. Any that's really kind of sticky works very well for getting those eggs off. You can also plant cauliflower winter and spring, kale, sprouting broccoli, and strawberries in August. This talks about transplanting those strawberry runners, and I have some that I have rooted and I am so excited to get these put somewhere. I'm just not really sure where I want to put them yet. This is a bed that I pulled potatoes out of and it is ready to put some seeds in. As you can tell, my irrigation system did water this morning, which is awesome. Okay, so you're going to have lots to do in August. You're going to be weeding and watering lots. It's been hot here. We did get like a rainy spell. Of course, the garden exploded after that, and I've had lots to do. I'm going to work on getting some mulch. That is my task for next year, is to get lots of mulch in my pathways and in the raised beds more than what I have now. The older beds do have leaf mulch, which has helped out a lot. These new beds, not so much. So we talked about how you're going to be harvesting regularly, and that is so true. Those zucchinis grow like crazy. If you've planted summer squash before, you know that when you see them and they're maybe 6 to 8 inches long, you probably need to go ahead because the next day they're gonna be huge. So I haven't ever done this, but this says to pinch the tops of the climbing beans, and I'm gonna guess this is why. This is huge. These are the 1500 cave beans that I have a video about, and I probably need to pinch these because I don't know that they have, well, yeah, there's some flowers. So these beans will dry on the vine, but I don't even know if I'm gonna get that many beans because it just keeps putting off runners. So I probably need to do that. Clip all those off and maybe it will make the plant produce some more flowers. I've been having to tie my tomatoes up. They have been growing quite a bit. I've been pinching off those sucker plants, and if you can see that bed kind of in the middle of the screen back there, those are actually my tomato sucker plants, and they're doing really well. I've actually gotten a couple tomatoes off of those, so I'm gonna have like that another succession of tomatoes. So you're definitely gonna be tying up tomatoes, possibly your peppers. Mine are still kind of small because they got a little bit of a late start. And you can also even sow green bumblebee that's saying hi to you. You might see it. Yeah, see it like flapping right there. I'm not really sure why it's on my phone. Kind of hope it goes away. Oh, he did go away. I had to move a little bit though. So you do have some other things that you want to do in August, like feed those pumpkins and winter squashes. You want to propagate strawberries, which I'm actually doing from those ones that I bought from Rural King that were on clearance. I am getting those runners and hopefully we'll get those planted. Summer prune those gooseberries. So I need to look that up because I do have gooseberries out in the fruit orchard that probably maybe need to be pruned. My blackberry bush back there behind me in the middle of the screen there, I'm not really sure. It is weedy right now and looks like all my blackberry vines started dying, which I've not had that happen before. That may be just kind of mowed over. This fall, cleaned up, they will come back because they've always been there. The only way to get rid of them is just to keep them mowed. So even some of those trees that are heavy laden, if you didn't, the word I'm looking for, thin those out, then you may have to prop those up. I did that one year. It did not thin them out, did not prop them up, and my peach tree actually split like 2 or 3 places. And so I'm gonna be doing some heavy pruning on a couple of my trees this year. Grapes, if you have grapes, you're going to wanna prune those as well. That's another thing that I wanna get. So this all back behind me eventually is not gonna be yard. I'm pretty excited. I informed my husband of that yesterday, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of mulch somehow. And I'm not going to mow that part of the yard because it's going to be all food production. So we do have a lot of pests though in August, and that is unfortunate, but there are such things called carrot flies. I don't know that I have encountered those yet. Slugs and snails, I haven't seen them, but that doesn't mean that I don't have them, so that is quite possible. Powdery mildew, we've not had any trouble with this year as of yet, but you just want to kind of keep an eye on everything, you know, maybe do a daily walkthrough. I've had some tomato hornworms that I have had to remove. I did have some deficiency in my Tromboshini, and so I had to fix that because we had blossom end rot when we started. So, you know, just different things that you might have a deficiency in your soil, and if you have the right amendments on hand, then you can add that and take care of that problem. But there are also pests and diseases on your fruit as well, so you just want to kind of keep an eye on that too. Well, that wraps up our August garden chore harvest video. I hope you enjoyed this. It's really going to vary depending on your zone as well. I am in 6B, so I guess I'm kind of maybe in the middle. Gosh, I don't even know. Middle-ish maybe. We have really hot summers, and sometimes we have really cold winters, so we sometimes get like a mix of both. We have some crazy weather. I can actually hear like rumbling in the background, thinking we might get rain today. I have no idea. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any tips or tricks in the comments. If you're enjoying these videos, be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to be lovely lights today.